She didn't say a word to me all night. Not one. Not when I picked her up, not when I asked if she was cold, not even when the restaurant host asked if we were celebrating something. She just smiled at him, tight-lipped, distracted, and nodded. That smile. I hadn't seen it in weeks, and yet she gave it to a stranger like it was nothing. Her friend Clara joined us halfway through dinner. The three of us sat there under the dim amber light that made everyone look more beautiful and more dishonest. I watched the two of them whisper about something over their wine, their heads bent close together. Every few seconds, Clara's eyes darted toward me and then away. I tried to laugh when they laughed, but my laugh sounded like it came from someone else. Halfway through dessert, Clara excused herself. She slipped something across the table before leaving. A small folded napkin, the kind with the restaurant's name embossed in gold. She pushed it toward me with her ring finger, like she was afraid to touch it. Wait outside. That was all it said. No explanation, no signature. My heart started hammering so hard it made the candle flame tremble. Outside, the night was cold and wet. The city lights blurred in the drizzle. I stood by the car, the note clutched in my palm, and tried to make sense of it. Wait outside. For what? For her? For Clara? For an apology? Through the restaurant window I could see them, Maya and Clara, still talking. Clara's face looked tense, almost pleading. Maya just shook her head. Then suddenly Maya stood, grabbed her purse, and walked toward the door. When she stepped outside, she didn't look surprised to see me. She looked resigned. Let's go, she said. Her voice was low, steady, too calm. I wanted to ask what the note meant. I wanted to ask why she couldn't look me in the eye all night. But something in her tone, something final, made me swallow the words. We drove in silence. The windshield wipers kept time with my heartbeat. After a few miles, she said softly, "Can we not talk until we get there?" Get where? I asked. She didn't answer. When we pulled up to her apartment, she sat there for a moment before getting out. The streetlights painted half her face in gold and left the other half in shadow. Are you coming up? She asked. I don't know, I said. Am I supposed to? She sighed and turned away. Just come up. Please. The elevator felt slower than usual. She kept glancing at the floor numbers like counting seconds. I wanted to reach for her hand but couldn't. My hand felt like stone. When we reached her floor, she unlocked the door and walked in without turning on the light. The faint smell of jasmine hit me, her perfume, but stronger, fresher, newer. Maya, I said. What's going on? She stopped in the middle of the room. I saw her shoulders rise and fall once, twice. Then she whispered, He's gone. You don't have to see him. The room tilted. What? She turned around. Her eyes glistened. He left before we got here. I told him to. The words made no sense at first. They hovered in the air like smoke. Who? I asked. My voice cracked. She didn't answer. She just looked at me like I already knew. And I did. I just didn't want to admit it. The silence stretched until it became unbearable. How long? I finally said. She closed her eyes. It wasn't supposed to happen. How long, Maya? She pressed her hands to her face. 3 months. 3 months. 90 days. 90 mornings she woke up and texted me good morning, while someone else was probably still lying beside her. 90 nights she told me she was tired from work, that she just wanted to rest. I sat down on the couch, the same couch where we'd watched movies, where she'd fallen asleep with her head on my lap. Now it felt alien. Who is he? I said. She hesitated. Then, you've met him. I laughed, a bitter crack sound. Fantastic. Narrow it down for me. Ethan, she said quietly. Claire's boyfriend. The air left my lungs. I wanted to scream, to throw something to make her hurt the way I did. But instead I just stared at her, my chest heaving, my fingers digging into my knees. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she said. It started when you. When I what? I snapped. When I was trying to get my life together. When I was working late to save for our trip. When I. She flinched. Don't make it sound simple. You were gone even when you were here. You stopped talking to me. I felt invisible. I wanted to tell her she was wrong. That I loved her. That I did all of it for her. But part of me, the part that had been silently watching her drift away for months, knew she wasn't entirely wrong. And that made it worse. The clock on the wall ticked loud enough to drown out thought. I can't stay here, I muttered. She nodded, tears streaking her face. I know. As I stood to leave, something caught my eye. The edge of a leather bracelet on the floor, half hidden under the coffee table. Ethan's. I'd seen him wear it a dozen times. I picked it up slowly like it might burn me. When did he leave? I asked. She hesitated. Half an hour before you came. But the bracelet was still warm. I looked toward the hallway, the one leading to her bedroom. The door was ajar. The faintest creak echoed from within. My pulse spiked. He's still here, isn't he? She froze. Maya. My voice dropped. Is he still here? Her lips parted. No words came out. That was all the answer I needed. I started toward the hallway. Don't, she said. Please just go. But I pushed the door open anyway. The room was dark except for the glow of the streetlight leaking through the blinds. A shadow moved near the closet. Then Ethan stepped out, shirt half-buttoned, face pale. For a long moment none of us spoke. The three of us just existed in that unbearable space between fury and shame. He started to say something. An apology, maybe. But I couldn't hear it. My pulse roared in my ears. I dropped the bracelet on the floor between us. You left this, I said. Then I turned and walked out before I could do something I'd regret. Outside, the rain had stopped, but everything still glistened as if the world itself had been crying. I leaned against the car, the night pressing heavy on my chest. The note was still in my pocket, crumpled from my grip. I unfolded it, read the words again. Wait outside. I realized then it wasn't meant as a warning. It was mercy. Clara must have known. She was trying to spare me from this. Too late. In the reflection of the car window I saw my own face, eyes hollow, mouth trembling. The man who had trusted too long, forgiven too easily, loved too blindly. And for the first time all night I let myself cry, not for her, not for what she'd done, but for the person I used to be before that note found me. Before everything I believed in turned to silence.